Boo boo da doo doo. Phenomena. Boo boo doo boo. Phenomena. Boo boo doo doo doo. Do 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 da 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 da. Hello, hello. I am Ed. We have one person in the chat right now because the cast strength guys are still finishing up. But you know what? I am a punctual motherfucker, and I start on time. So you know what? I can dick around while they're finishing up. I know people want to watch them. It's their 50th anniversary show, or their 50th episode or something. So yeah, I'm not gonna be too mad about that. But I'm just sitting here finishing up my dinner. I went out before this quarantine hit. I went out and bought a whole ton of taties and cabbage and a bunch of corned beef because that was all that was on the shelves. So I am stocked. Who will we get? Who's already here? John Gunsel, Andrew Spurrell, and the main man Wheels. Good to see you guys. Hopefully everyone is staying safe, staying inside, and staying out of trouble in these dangerous times. I sure hope that everyone and the people they love are safe and sound. I actually went outside for the first time in I took a walk down by the river early on in the quarantine, but this was the first time I actually went out into the world today. I went to get to the drugstore to get some pills. Yeah, scared the crap out of me. Like I'm not like a super unhealthy guy, but I ain't trying to mess with this COVID. Wheels. Oh, you work for Walmart. Yeah, dang. Well, I mean, at least you're getting paid. I'm on the dole right now because yeah, I am unemployed from one job and I am not able to work for the other because they cut our hours. So yeah. Andrew Sproul's doing the food and alcohol delivered. Yeah, God bless deliverymen. I'll say that right now. God bless deliverymen and grocery store workers and big box store workers and everybody else who's out in this mess for work. Good on you. Construction guys, whomever, infrastructure people. Yeah, good on you, because it's serious. We ought to be thanking those people. Are all our healthcare workers? Yeah. So, but yeah, tonight's topic is going to be fun. Erica's actually on a Zoom call right now, so she's not going to be joining us. We'll see if we can't convince her to show up later. But I have a little scheme I've cooked up. So if you've been following the channel, this past Wednesday we did our first Rotgut blends episode. So that was me trying to improve Jim Beam vanilla, and I did an okay job at it. I think. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm going to. I think I did a pretty decent job at it. But and we're still going to keep doing that. We're still going to be improving bad whiskeys through the use of blending. So keep following the Wednesday things for that. We're going to keep changing up the challenges and parameters. Keep me on my toes. Keep me working for it. But I also had the idea. So you can take a bad whiskey and you can make it better through blending, right? You can ease off the edges. You can cover up some of those weird notes, or you can add notes that work well with those weird notes and create something more than the sum of its parts, right? I mean, that's what blending is, right? A master blender has, these dozens of different little barrels and stuff, or samples from barrels. They're trying to get the proportions right to match the recipe for whatever it is. So Scotch, bourbon, whatever. You're trying to make a consistent product. The blender has to go in and, get all the notes right, or get it within like 90%, right? You don't want it to get too far from there. So what? And then I had the idea, what if we went the opposite way? What if we just be real? What if I just be a real shithead about this, and I break out some good whiskey and try and fuck it up. Like, because I mean, the whole idea is there are usually when you mix two good whiskeys, right? You're trying to mix if you mix two good whiskeys, right? You end up with a good whiskey. That's the whole point. When you mix two good whiskeys, you're ending up with usually a decent whiskey. But what happens when you find two whiskeys who are good on their own, but whose flavors are so diametrically opposed? When you mix them, it fucks them both up. So I'm going to play around with that. We're not using flavored whiskey, Andrew Sproul. We're not making flavor. We're not doing anything like adding vanilla extract or anything like that. These have to be, just your regular unflavored whiskeys. We're blending them. No additives. Oh, hey, Berry Buddies is in. Andrew Sproul's asking, does Coke improve Jim Beam vanilla for you? It's already too sweet. So, I mean, I guess I haven't. We did an episode like that with vanilla Coke a while back. We did like regular Coke with Jim Beam vanilla, and we did vanilla Coke with regular Jim Beam or something like that. We tried to do that. And that Jim Beam vanilla is so much sweeter than vanilla Coke. Jim Beam vanilla with regular Coke is a way more sweet than the actual soft drink version with the vanilla is. So, yeah. Actually, I didn't even know. I don't even know if that's Neil or Jeff Hefe from the Bourbon Buddies. One of you, whichever, maybe both. And Mark Goins on is here. So yeah. So basically, that's the rundown. That's what we're doing today. Because Eric is not here and I'm gonna fuck around. Oh, it's Neil. Cool. Hey, Neil. But yeah, what is everybody drinking? What's everybody on tonight? I would love to hear from you guys. Anything fun? Anything exciting? But yeah, so I've got my first one here already because I was experimenting this with the night before. And here's the fun thing. This gets to be an interactive experience. So I can, when you can look at this behind me. This is what we have in terms of good whiskey for the most part. Might be a little hard to see some of the things that are behind boxes, but you guys tell me, if you have suggestions for weird combinations. And actually, we can do weird combinations that are good or bad. I'll drink both. I really don't care. But for the bad combinations, I want to do a little experiment. When we do bad combinations, things that are good on their own, bad together, we're going to put them in little bottles at the end of the stream, and we're going to see how they mature over the course of, not mature, you know what I mean, marry. Because like when you first pour them into the glass, they're not going to be cohesive. We'll see how they marry over the course of a month. So that'll be some fun stuff to check out over the course of the month. We can come back to this in videos and live streams and see if they got better, got worse, what happened to them. I would imagine they get better, but we'll find out. We'll also find out how long these things take to marry. We're going to give them a little ceremony. It's going to be beautiful. They're going to grow old together, and then I'm going to murder them when I drink them. Okay, who's drinking what? Neil's on the 1920 down Ransport, Charlotte 10. Very good, both. Andrew Sproul saying he might go get some of that 1920. Nice. Mark Mirror is going for the Mirador. Very good choice. John Gunsel is blending. Oh, he's saying blend 1792 and the Kilhoman red box. Which red box? Because we've got Madeira and we've got bourbon. So this is single bourbon cask. This is Madeira finish single cask. Which one would you like to see? I'm feeling like Madeira might be the weirder one, but Mark Goins on. I bought these. I'm allowed to ruin whatever I want. Station Time from Howe, Michigan is Killing Jim Beam Distiller's Cut. Very good. Hey, Trev Wilson. How you doing, Trev? Good to see you. Good to see you. Ben Eves. Ben Eves, how are you, man? Always happy to see you. Ben is such a generous guy. If you haven't seen my review of the sample he sent me, High Wire Distilling New Southern Revival Rye, it's fantastic. So, spoiler alert, I guess if you don't want to go watch the video, it's fantastic and I love it. They're making some really good stuff. So that's something I really need to find a bottle of. I don't know if I don't think they distribute up here though, which is the sad part. Yeah, so what are you guys drinking tonight? So yeah, did we decide on which Kilhoman I'm mixing with 1792? Mark Goings On just does the big no. Too bad. Okay, I've got a freebie here. This was the one I mixed up the other night. So this one is actually standard Buffalo Trace, usual basic bitch of the Buffalo Trace line, and then Connemara cast strength. Now I say this is kind of a freebie because the peat of Connemara cast strength is freaking weird. This is the most petrochemically like burned computer parts, overheated plastic thing I've ever had in a peated whiskey. And then the weird thing is basic, you know, regular old Connemara is not like that. It's more smoky, it's more sweet. It's not the same thing, which is weird. So something about proofing it down cuts into that chemical taste. Now here's the thing. A lot of our worst whiskeys have a petrol taste. Canadian Mist springs to mind, for sure. Canadian Mist is super weirdly like, but that's like diesel. Like licking Vin Diesel. And so this one is not quite like that. This is not quite that diesel taste of a really, really poor, like cheap whiskey. This is phenolic, but weirdly phenolic. And it's actually, I don't hate it. I kind of like it. This one is similar to the Matsui, which is the Japanese, the peated from Kiriyoshi. This is the one you want if you're going to buy Kiriyoshi. The other Kiriyoshis, Scotch. They just imported Scotch and blended it with Japanese stuff. It's kind of a scam. But yeah, the Matsui's their actual real stuff. So, but similar idea. But yeah, I gotta say, I don't think Connemara would blend well with anything. Maybe another peated whiskey. Don Ryan says they use Mobil 1 synthetic oil as the liquid component in Connemara CS. Yeah, I'd believe it. I would believe it. Well, it's weird because I think the problem we have with a lot of our worst whiskeys is that diesel note is like drinking actual straight diesel or like mineral spirits. This one is more if you lit mineral spirits on fire, which is a very particular taste. I don't think it's the worst thing I've had. I think it's good on its own, but it's weird. It's weird. Sertan, yeah, we're blending. We're blending because honestly, I'm trying to save some of like our individual reviews for videos because I'm not running out to the liquor store anytime soon. So we're working with stuff we have to make interesting content, hopefully. Yeah, but mixing this with this sweet thing, because Buffalo Trace is a little nutty, it's a little leathery, it's a pretty well-rounded bourbon, all things considered, but it's pretty sweet compared to Connemara, right? Mixing that with Buffalo Trace with the Connemara is super, I don't know, all that petrochemical stuff actually tastes worse when compared to the sweet. Like it gets more like cloying, biting weirdness. Yeah, I don't know. And I like both of these individually. They do not work together. They do not work together at all. Sir Cannon. Sorry, what was your idea? That was, that was the Colson's, the Jim Beam Vanilla, and the, what was it? Prestige. Right. Yeah, we will have to do that at the end of the stream. I'm not going to do that at the beginning just because I feel like that's going to be painful to do. But we'll try it at the end of the stream. So stick around for the end, and I'll make sure I get that in. Hey, Scott from Bourbon Journey. Yes, wash your hands. Yeah, I went out today. I hit my hands with sanitizer twice, then came home and washed my hands repeatedly. Are you feeling better, man? I know you were feeling a little under the weather, so I hope you're feeling better. Got to be careful these days. Okay, so I think we had a suggestion from the chat, which was Kilhoman. Did you want to do, John, you got to talk to me. Did you want to do the Madeira, or were you looking to do the bourbon cask? Because I have both, and I'm willing to do both. As long as we're at it, we're going to do the foolproof 1792. Oh, good. I'm glad you're feeling better, Scott. Sir Tannen, the next Pappy alternative. Yeah. You know what? Every blending video I do, I'm just going to go with a really clickbait title. Every single one is going to say poor man's Pappy or whatever, Pappy blend. Every single one. I'm going to be like doing, I don't know. I'm going to be doing like bottom shelf Scotch blends. I'm going to be like, yep, this is the new Pappy alternative. All right. So let's see. So we got foolproof. Right now I'm doing like half and half. So this is half foolproof 1792, half Kilhoman Madeira. Mark goes on is still just going no in the chat. Too bad. It's happening. Can't stop me. I'm a maverick, see? An iconoclast. I do what I want. This isn't bad so far. Hey, Charles. You're jumping around trying to support everyone. Are other people on right now? I tried to choose this spot because I didn't think other people were streaming right now. That's why I go on. I tried to go on after cast strength. Didn't realize other people were on. That's okay. Yeah, this is not bad. Let's see about the taste, though. Yeah, that doesn't exactly work. I think there is just it works. It works. ADHD is on right now, and it's my bourbon. Oh, does ADHD usually go on right now? I didn't realize that. Oh well, thank you guys for choosing the Rotgut review. I appreciate you. And for those of you who are watching after the fact, thank you too. I'm going to add a little bit more of the 1792 and see what happens. Oh, that's actually a lot better. Yeah, that's actually a lot better. I really like that. It kind of got back the smokiness, though. Like now it got rid of that weird tang at the end, but it got rid of the smokiness. And that's kind of what you go for. The problem with this Madeira finish, which I think is true of various red wine or fortified wine finished ones that aren't sherry, sometimes you do get a weird mustiness along with the fruit. I think this probably would have matched up better with the bourbon cask, which is a good thing I chose Madeira, because yeah, they probably would have paired up much better, because that bourbon cask is straight up smoke, multi-sweetness, a little bit of vanilla from the cask. This one's hard to match with. This one's hard to, yes, port especially does bring the funk. Port brings out a lot of mustiness. It's actually kind of crazy how musty that shit gets. That's my problem with port. You walk a fine line when you're messing around with port finishes. Some of them come off as red fruity. Some of them come off as a musty, mildewy basement. And in the right proportion, that can be okay. But in the wrong proportion, it gets weird. Sertanen is saying he's looking for a suitable empty bottle to start his Infinity bottle. Have I ever made one of those? Yes, I have. I haven't drank from it in a minute, though. You know, and I haven't added to it in a while either. Jeez, oh my God, I don't think I've added to this thing in like 2 years. I got way excited about this and then dropped off adding to it. So you probably can't read what's all in it right now. But yeah, I was putting in just about everything I was drinking for a minute there. Oh my God, looking at this is like the first like year of me drinking whiskey really seriously. That's what this is. Holy crap. Like it's a time capsule. We might have to break that out. Yeah, well, you have to understand, I've added a lot to my collection since then that hasn't gone into that because I got lazy. So there's a lot missing. John Gunsel said I need to just keep adding back and forth until I cause Mark Goings on head to explode. Yeah, I'll do my best, man. The Teeling Brabazon is a port bomb. I believe it. Port is hit or miss for me. I've never really found sherry finished stuff that I hated. That's a lie. That's a lie. Sometimes I have found sherry stuff that I didn't like. I found a lot of port stuff that I despised. So yeah, it's a mixed bag for me on port. Sometimes I like a light touch with the port. A light touch is really what I'm looking for. I think we found a good place with this one, though. Yeah. Okay, here's the thing I will say for this. For this blend, too much Kilchoman and over the 1792. The Madeira cask over the 1792, way too funky. Too much 1792 over the Madeira cask, it just gets bland. It's vanilla and oak. It's really nothing special. But there's a middle ground here that smells like moss and bacon. And yeah, it's good. It's good. It's weird. It's weird. It's a little incongruous, but it's not bad. It's not bad. So yeah. That one actually goes into the kind of decent thing, which was not what I was going for, but that's okay. Okay, I got another one I wanted to try. I wanted to see how these two match up. Now this one, I got a feeling this one should get really bad, depending. Now I like both of these on their own. So we got West Cork. This is a 12-year-old single malt rum cask finish. And then I've got Old Potrero. This is their 18th century style whiskey. It's a 2.5-year rye malt mash whiskey aged in uncharred oak barrels. So this one is a funky rye motherfucker. This one is a funky ass rum motherfucker. So I want to see what happens with these two. I got a feeling it could be pretty fucky. So Tammy is saying, I've just got one bottle of sherry finish and I waffle back and forth as far as whether I like it or not. Which sherry finished whiskey is it? I'm curious. I think the first sherry finished I had that I really loved was Glenmorangie La Santa, which is pretty light on the sherry as far as sherry finished scotches go, compared to, you know, your Macallans and your Glendronachs. But I got sulfur on it, and I loved it. Like that sulfury spent match nose was perfect for me. And that's when I found the Macallan stuff, because obviously Macallan is well known for its sulfury craziness. So yeah. Donald Rance, I was not a fan of that West Cork. Okay, yeah, this West Cork is divisive. I agree with that. I like it. It's a weird one. It's like honey and some kind of weird, funky, waxy fruit. So I don't blame you for disliking this one. I definitely don't blame you for disliking this one. It's a particular one, and it's not my go-to West Cork for sure, but it's weird enough to be interesting, and it's not bad enough that I don't like it. So yeah, I count it among one of the ones I like. But it is a weird fucking profile. I will grant you that. Sir Tannen Ainsley Bray. I don't know that one. Yeah, I'm not sure which one that is. If anybody else is familiar, or if you can tell us about it, Sir Tannen. I still love that name. I don't know why. Sir Tannen. It's just fun to say. Benjamin Eves. Yeah, I do like Craigellachie. I haven't had a lot of it though. It's not one that pops up all that often. I mean, I see it here and there, and I think I had some samples at one point. Okay, yeah. I'm not. If people want to run over to ADH Whiskey because they need an Old Weller Antique giveaway, yeah, go on ahead. You guys want to get some Old Weller? I'm not worried about it. I think he'll be. I'm sure he'll pop 100 without my help. I have 9 people in my chat. I think he's doing. I think he's doing okay. Yeah, Sir Tannen, go ahead. Throw a link in there. If YouTube gives you any crap, I'll ask if we have a moderation. Trev Wilson around here? I don't even know. But it's a Spirits Direct one from Total Wine. Those Spirit Direct ones are weird. Because some of those are like independent bottlings that they just get shipped in for here, and you can buy them other places in other countries, but some of them are actually like their house brands. I don't know. That's always a weird one for me. They're also generally, I'm not a fan of the Spirits Direct stuff. What did we have recently? What the hell were those weed baby samples we had on the show? Oh, Grangestone. Grangestone was another one. They're one of those independent ones. Oh, Ben Stang. Thank you, buddy. No, see, I don't mind, dude. Whatever. I'm not worried about it. But yeah, Grangestone is a middling to bad one from Total Wine. They're generally, I think this is one rum cask finish that I really actually don't like that much. It's okay. It's okay. It's very light. It's weirdly raisiny for a rum cask finish, which I don't usually expect from those. But yeah, it's not awful. It's not your favorite. Yeah, that sounds about right for Total Wine selections. That's generally how they go. All right. So this one actually mellowed out on the nose. When I first sniffed this, this was kind of horrendous. The West Cork meets Old Potrero. It's got this weird grainy, I mean, it's rye bread meets graham cracker crust meets like really tart lemon. Yeah, it's a weird one. I'm not a huge fan of it. Yeah, that doesn't work on the taste. Those two just do not mix. The Old Potrero is way too vegetal, way too kind of undergrowth, dead leaves kind of stuff. The West Cork is just too waxy, fruity, high sugary notes. And the two, they're both freaky ass flavor profiles that you either love them or you hate them. And then you mix them together and they just don't want to work. Although if you get a chance to try this Old Potrero, the 18th century style, I mean, I don't know if you want to buy one right off the bat. Maybe try it at a bar first or get a sample if you can. It's an interesting one. Pot distilled rye, uncharred oak. It's very rye. It's a weird rye. Downrights is saying, do I have West Cork bog oak? I do not have that right now. No. I've had it. I like it. I like the peat cask better. But yeah, they're both good. The Glengarriff, those two Glengarriff bottlings are both excellent. Should I throw some mezcal in this? All right, I'm not opposed to that. Should I do mezcal con gusano or should I do Tres Agaves? That's actually a tequila. Where's my agaves? I think I'm gonna try the agaves. Let's see what the agaves does to it. I think that'll be fun. Did you get your old Weller, Charles? Because if you did, you owe me half of it. All right, let's try this. I was planning to stick to whiskey, but I mean, who gives a shit? It's just me. I don't fucking care. I'm just messing around. Oh, John Gunson said mezcal. Well, too late. I can put the mezcal in too. Nothing's stopping me. So this is a weird one. This was actually one I did as a review for a Patreon-only video. Patron-only video. So, yeah, this one, maybe add a little bit more of that. This one is the cheapest. It's like $16 mezcal. It's got the worm floating in there. Say hi. Hi. Yeah. So it's this one. This one is like drinking fucking peppers, like boiled peppers or pickled peppers. Yeah. It's a weird one. I also think I said something wrong. I think this wasn't even aged. I think it's it's Hogan, so I don't think it's aged. I think they just put food coloring in it. That's what I think I misspoke on my Patreon review. Yeah, I'm basically just taking bad ideas at this point. Oh man, that mezcal completely took that over. There's no whiskey left on that nose. Let's give that a second to settle, because I had another weird one I wanted to try. Because okay, Basil Hayden's Caribbean Reserve Rye. I don't know if you guys know this one. It's the one where they actually mixed blackstrap rum in. makes it really, really molassesy and really, really bittersweet. And I was wondering how that would stand up to Ardbeg Supernova. Oh, Slimy from Oscar the Grouch. Yeah, that's cute. I remember thinking he was adorable. Oh my God, this cap does not want to come off. Charles Ashford is saying 3-1 Eagle Rare and ECBP. I don't actually have any Elijah Craig in the house right now. I got some Eagle Rare somewhere up here. There it is. Yeah, but no Elijah Craig right now. That is never one that I don't know. Not that I don't like it. Open, you little motherfucker. It's not that I don't like it. It's just that it. I don't know. I'm not that big a bourbon guy, and so like, I don't know. Elijah Craig isn't one that really I ever super feel the need to snap up. Yeah, that one. This little fucker does not want to pop open. This one's easy. All right, we're just gonna do a little Ardbeg Supernova. I think we're gonna do like 25% Ardbeg Supernova, and then if I can get this little fucker open, yeah, all the sugar in the rum must be making it stick. This was when I first opened this bottle, though. This was super hard to get open too. I remember. Oh yeah, you can hear it crack when I did it with my teeth. There's something sticking on the inside there. I don't know what that is, but oh, that I don't know. Added sugar. All right. 125% basil. Sertan saying he recently got a little carried away at the total line, so quite a bit of stuff to try blending. Yeah, no, for sure. He's gonna try old fashions using the various whiskeys. Good idea. That is something I will say for Total Wine. They do have a good selection. The problem is they have a good selection, but half of that selection is their kind of crappy house brands. So what are you gonna do? Yeah, it is dark. That is pitch, well, not pitch black, but it's pretty damn dark. And there's no way I don't think I mean, the Basil Hayden's was dark on its own, but then you add that rum. It's gotta be some dark ass rum. Donna Rance is saying a really dill forward high proof rye. I'll break up the Willet. We could do that in this one. We'll do the Willet. We can do the Willet 4-year-old and the Connemara cast strength. Yeah, it does kind of look like Texas whiskey. Yeah, which makes me wonder how much rum was in this, because they just say so it's Kentucky straight rye whiskey blended with Canadian rye whiskey finished with rum. So which makes it like a spirit specialty, right? It's no longer like whiskey technically. And also they say finished with rum rather than blended with rum, which always makes me, yeah, I don't know. That's weird. That feels like false marketing to me. Because usually when you say finished, you mean it was in a cask. They mean we threw some fucking rum in there, which is fine. It's just, maybe change your nomenclature. I don't know about this, you guys. Thing is, it doesn't smell bad, but that rum just completely ate up the Supernova. I'm not getting like any Supernova. Andrew Sproul saying likely Alberta rye in there. Probably, and it's absolutely inspired by the Alberta Dark Horse. I mean, that's basically what they were ripping off. So yeah. Okay, check this out. On the taste, this one is actually probably off the bat the most congruous one we've had so far. Now that the rum ate up the Supernova. The Supernova is mostly gone, which is surprising, right? Because this is like the most heavily peated, big, stick over the head motherfucking Ardbeg in the world. But you just get the ashiness on the finish. It's ash and coffee. It's like coffee, and that front is like, it's like Coca-Cola almost, but not really sweet, like Coca-Cola, like cola nut, I guess is what it would be. It would be a cola nut. Would take away the corn syrup. Menage a trois, bourbon, Canadian, and rum, kind of, yeah. I know, right? Well, but here's the thing about Supernova. At least this is the 2019 edition. This one is weird for an Ardbeg because, like, it is super peated, but it's weird. It's weirdly not as bacon fatty, burned, charred, whatever thing. It's much more vegetal, salty, complex, nuanced kind of thing. A lot less of just that big punch in the head, burn down a forest with bacon and pineapple burning in the background. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe what if we try blending in? What do I got? Let's try blending in. Let's do some Kelpie. Let's see how this. Now Kelpie, I would say, is maybe the saltier of the two. You know, it had that salt-laden oak cask. But at the same time, I think it's more of a heavier smoky peat rather than that vegetal earthy peat. So let's see if that brings back a little bit of the smoke to the concoction. Ugh. So for this one, I really just added a dash. This is just a dash. Okay, yeah. So that's actually bringing a little bit more smoke and ash back into it. On the nose, that's smelling a little bit more Ardbeg influenced. Hey, Brad, how you doing? Charles, yeah, sounds good. Tried bacon and pineapple, which is basically what Drum was. Yeah, I really like Drum, the committee release. I don't know if I ever had the basic one. Although I guess if you leave a committee release open for a month or two, it becomes the basic expression. Yeah, you can still smell that coffee though. That bittersweet coffee note thing. It's in there. But now it's sharing that space with that burned bacon, that really bacon fatty, thick, oily taste. This one is the least bad. I was expecting this one to be fucked up. I'm going to tell you guys right now. I was expecting this one to be fucked up. It's not though. If you like coffee and you like your like a dark bittersweet thing, yeah, like a morning party. This is like a breakfast kind of thing. It's like dark coffee and bacon. With just a little bit, yeah, it's almost, I don't know if I put that in my head now that it tastes like maple syrup. I think maybe that's just my psychology fucking with me now. But yeah, that's actually pretty decent. Out of these ones, these two work the best. Which is fun because maybe it's because we're imitating Drum a little bit with that rum finish. but it's not the same rum finish. Drum had a very tropical fruit sweet finish. This is a very bittersweet, dry kind of rum. So, yeah. The rum's a little overpowering. That's why I added some Kelpie back into it. I needed the Kelpie. The Supernova got eaten up by the rum, which boggles the mind, right? You would think the Supernova would blow the pants off of anything, but yeah. A breakfast stout. Yeah, that's a good call. This is a little bit like Guinness. Yeah, it's the blackstrap molasses, which I don't know what kind of rum they used for the drum. If they were doing like a Spanish style where it's more neutral, like, you know, like a Puerto Rican rum, if they're doing English style, if they were doing like a rum agricole. I would guess it wasn't like a Jamaican English style, because then they wouldn't get that sweetness. So, but okay, this one's a winner so far. The Madeira plus 1792, not bad. Connemara plus Buffalo Trace kind of sucked. This one's just fucking stupid. It's evened out a little bit though. Oh, but now it smells like, oh no. Oh no, it smells like that vanilla beam a little bit. Like that vanilla smell is coming out now. But it's mixed with that really fucked up vegetal chemically note. Guys, I think we accidentally recreated Jim Beam vanilla a little. No, it's better on the taste. It's better on the taste at least. You get some of that stone fruit from the rye. Some of the stone fruit from the rye comes out. That saves it. But, oh, that nose is so bad, you guys. That nose is so painful. Oh, God. Like, I think something, one of these, it must have been the West Cork. That vanilla probably came out quite a bit. Or, I don't think it was the Old Potrero. There's not a lot of vanilla in Old Potrero. But one of these, the vanilla came out. Maybe it was a Tres Agaves. I don't know. But one of that came out and it mixed with that. Yeah, like a urinal puck, a vanilla scented urinal puck. That one does not work at all. It's I don't know. It's like drinking vanilla extract while being maced. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I mean, I'm still drinking it because that's what I do, but I'm not a fan. Okay, Donald Brands had a suggestion. We're going to try a really dill-forward rye with the Connemara cask strength. That's going to be one we gotta try. Downright saying I think it's the West Cork. Yeah, you're probably right about that. Because like Tres Agaves is a little vanilla-y, but not like that. That's just like used bourbon barrel vanilla-y. Okay, so here's the thing about these two. Connemara, I think the taste comes off as excessively petrochemically. The nose is better. I think with Willet, the nose is kind of fucked up and a little bit like, again, like a little bit mineral spiritsy, but the taste for me makes up for it. Right? So they kind of, let's see if they cancel each other out. I feel like there's a lot of whiskeys where I'm like, how much Willet should I do to the Connemara? I'm going to do more Willet than Connemara, I think. Yeah, I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong, and I'm okay with it. I do what I do. I do what I do because I am who I am, and I have to keep moving forward. Donald says he doesn't like the West Cork or the Tullamore Dew. Two worst Irish whiskeys he's had in a long time. Rum and Irish whiskey doesn't seem to work except Keeling small batch. Well, that's a good question. See, this West Cork rum finish, I will say it's not for everyone. I like it because it's funky and weird and it does something no other Irish whiskey does. That said, it is funky and weird. I agree with you. Tullamore Dew, the XO, was not that great. So I wonder what made Teeling's small batch kind of work. Was it that the type of rum? Was it that it was an older barrel, a younger barrel? You know, it's hard to say. I guess if I had to guess, it was because there was more grain character to the Cooley distillate. But then again, isn't West Cork Cooley distillate? Donald, you'll have to help me out with that one. I don't actually know if West Cork. I think West Cork's Cooley distillate too, so that really wouldn't explain it. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, let's check out this very dilly Willet mixed with the Connemara. Let's find out what happened there. Tolerance, I think that it was a single grain. Which was a single grain? The Tully? Or no, Tully was a blend. I don't know. That's okay. We'll figure that out in a minute. There's a delay between what I say and what you hear, so I'm just going to keep drinking until I see a comment. The Teeling. Well, Teeling single grain was the wine finish. Teeling small batch blended was the rum finish, right? Am I crazy? Oh, Donald. Donald, you magnificent Irish whiskey Yoda. That, okay, now I'm going to mess with the proportions a little because I want to see what happens if I add more. The small batch was mostly grain. Yeah, okay. So it was mostly grain. I don't know. Well, and that thing is, with Cooley grain, it is still like double distilled by Irish standards. So it's not that really high, lacking in taste version that you get with a lot of Scotch single grain. I think that's why Teeling works so well, especially the Teeling's single grain. Oh, see you later, Ben. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. But so I wonder if it stands up better to a rum cask finish than some of the other stuff. Then again, this is single malt. I don't think it's triple distilled. I'm pretty sure it's double distilled. So why would it come off so funky? I don't know. Maybe John Teeling is just a better blender. I mean, that could always just be the case. This works really well. This actually works really damn well, you guys. I think you got to keep the portion of the Connemara cask strength low. I think that might be the trick to this particular blend. Go heavy on the Willet, but this actually brings out more of the stone fruit from the Willet. It cuts down on the petrochemically stuff from the Connemara. It also brings out more earthiness, more like vegetation, and less pickle from the Willet, which is kind of what you should be shooting for if you're trying to make, like if you're like Erica and you want to make a rye palatable, you got to dial down that pickle as much as possible, right? And the Connemara does a pretty good job of that. But I think I added a little too much because I'm starting to get a little bit of that tire fire back. It works though. Donald, this was a good call. This was a good call. Yeah. So actually, this one, to be fair, I think the difference with the even with Willet being as ridiculously, stupidly pickly as it is, it's still not as rye grain forward as the Old Potrero. So that helps it. I think there's more wood, like the lactones, the vanillins, the esters and stuff. I think there's more to contribute there that kind of covers up a little bit of that petrochemically stuff. But it does also manage to bring out a little bit more of that kind of cookie, biscuity, honey flower kind of thing. Honeysuckle, that's the one I'm thinking of. Which is something I find with the Connemara regular strength, but not so much with the cast strength. So that's kind of neat. Maybe it's just because it's proofing down a little bit too. Well, no, they're both 50 something. That can't be the case. Yeah, they're both 55, 57. So yeah. But I like this one. I like this one a lot. I think misfires, Connemara, and sweet doesn't work. Madeira plus rye forward bourbon, it's okay if you get the proportions right. This is bullshit, and I hate you guys for making me drink it. This one works. Coffee and bacon. Kelpie plus Supernova plus rum, Caribbean rum cask, Basil Hayden. That works pretty well. Yeah, and then Donald's blend. Donald called it. Donald called it. All right, so let's see. We're coming on an hour, and I promised that I would only do these for an hour, which it keeps me from getting too shit-faced on stream and going on rants. So yeah, I'm going to try to keep this to an hour. But I did promise Sir Tannen that on this stream, we were going to do his suggestion, which is Prestige Colson's Jim Beam Vanilla. And let's see if I can't make this taste decent. I'm going to need to clear out a Glencairn real quick. So let's see here. Do I have an extra Glencairn? I don't think I do. That's okay. That's okay. One of these is getting sacrificed. Tell you what, I think it's going to have to be this one because, yeah, this is gone now. So let's clean this glass out real nice so we don't have anything left of that in it. All right. Sir Tannen, are you still in the chat? Because we're doing your suggestion. Okay. Here's the thing. I want to put as little Jim Beam vanilla in this as I possibly can. So here's what I'm thinking. If I have to use Jim Beam vanilla, it has to just be an accent. One of these two has to be the base. Now, I'm thinking, because Prestige is not terrible. It's kind of funky petrol-y, but it's not awful. It's not awful. It's relatively neutral, is what it is. So it's not the worst of the blended American whiskeys. It's not the best. Colson's is halfway decent. So I think that's going to have to be our base. I think that's, I mean, Canadian whiskey. It's sweet. It's kind of easygoing. Yeah. Oh, John Gunsel. I think maybe John headed out. I'm sorry if I missed that. Bye, John. Love you. Love you with all my hearts. All right. So let's start with this. I'm thinking like at least a third needs to be the Colson's. And you know what? I lied. I forgot about how bad this is. Yeah, the Colson's is nice in comparison. The Colson's still petrol-y. Colson's is still fucking diesel, but oh, I forgot how this smells like. This smells like fucking shitty vodka. Yeah. Don't want to drink it. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of that, and then we're just doing a dash of Jim Beam vanilla because I can't stand this crap. But anytime you add Jim Beam vanilla to regular whiskey, you can see the syrup like separating out. It's gross looking. All right. Oh, come on. Sir Tannen, you better watch this. Either if you better either be in the chat right now or you better be watching this like on replay. Either way, you had better be watching this shit because I'm doing this for you. Oh, Joey Short Pants. I don't know if I know you. But thank you for popping into the chat. Oh God. Okay. There's the vanilla's there. That cough syrup vanilla taste is there, or smell is there, but fuck that Prestige took over. I don't remember Prestige thing as being this bad. It's been a while since I drank it, but goddamn, I don't remember it being this bad. I do remember it won at least one Worst Whiskey Watch week, which we really need to get back to once the old man is back. But yeah, honestly, the Colson's is the least offensive part of this thing. So, okay, here we go. You can't taste the Colson's. It's not even there anymore. You can't taste it at all. It's basically become the grain whiskey in the blend. Like there's just nothing there. That tastes like overly. It's like sucking down like cake frosting straight out of the squeeze tube, which is like, yeah, I think that sounds great. You know, you're a kid and you're like, I'm gonna drink a bunch of cake frosting. Blah. Hey, did you like this? I didn't even mean to do that. I wasn't even thinking. But yeah, you're it's like, yeah, at first it tastes fine, but then like it's so sickeningly fucking sweet. It's not the worst. It's better than Jim Beam vanilla on its own. You can taste the Prestige on the finish. It tastes like a shitty American blended whiskey. Yeah. Yeah, it's a thing. What would okay, as long as I'm here, and if you guys aren't going anywhere, I'll hang out for a second. What would I do to fix this? If I was going to add something to this blend, what would it be? Like my first thought is just drown it in Colson, because that's like the best tasting part of this blend right now. Joey Sharpants says make hand sanitizer out of the Colsons. Charles Ashworth, I think that tastes better than what I'm drinking right now. Yeah. Yeah, see, problem is it's not strong enough to actually kill germs. 40%. You need to get up to like 60 to kill the coronavirus. Nothing less than 120. So Booker's maybe, or Little Book. I think Little Book might be strong enough, but I'm not wasting Little Book on that. Yeah. Okay, real quick. What would I do to fix this? One whiskey that I would blend into this to fix this shit. It can't be something sweet. So it's gotta be something dry, maybe earthy to balance out all that high sugar taste. Peat or rye, right? Yeah. But which peat would I go with? I don't want, you know what I don't want? I don't want something finished. I don't need the fruit notes in this. Because the fruit notes are just going to be another thing to like jumble up in the mix. I think I just need like the straight, like a naked peated malt. I'm thinking either Makir Bay or maybe we go back to the Kelpie. Charles Ashworth, do you read? Okay, everyone, this is a crazy thing considering who Erica is. We have no Lefroy in the house right now. Okay, I want you to understand the gravity of that situation. She drank up all of Lefroy. Now we don't have any Lefroy. We could go to the liquor store and buy some because it's still open. But we're both like, we're not gonna like no unnecessary trips. So she's been like a week now without Lefroy. She drank it all up like in the first week of quarantine. So yes, no Lefroy in the house. You know, when she gets Lefroy, she doesn't put it with the rest of the whiskeys. She hides it. Well, she doesn't hide it, but she like keeps it by her stuff. So it's like, she's like, you can drink it. But I'm like, can I though? Can I? I don't know, you guys. I don't want to risk it. Yeah, the Lefroy 10 is down in less than half a bottle. Yeah. See, here's my thing. I understand that liquor stores are open right now. They're consumable, so they're like considered essential business. That's kind of bullshit, in my opinion. Not that I want liquor stores to have to close and people not to make money. But if we're serious about the quarantine thing, is a liquor store really essential? I feel like the reason they're doing that is mostly because they don't want a bunch of alcoholics showing up at the emergency room, like, you know, with alcohol withdrawal and taking up bed space, which is a little cynical of me, but yeah, I don't know. And I work for a liquor store. Like, don't get me wrong, I love liquor stores, but like maybe we don't need to keep them open. Maybe you can buy booze at a grocery store. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna go with the Makir Bay. I love me some Makir Bay. This is just about the peatiest thing. Well, no, this is not just the Makir Bay. This is the Makir Bay Cast Strength Meet the Peat edition. So this was the 2019 Meet the Peat. So yeah, we'll see how this works. More essential than carpet pad? I don't actually know what carpet pad is. So I can't think that's particularly essential if I don't know what it is. But yeah, Sertani was saying Shieldag single malt. You know, I haven't had any of the Shieldag. That's another Total Wine Spirits Direct one, right? That's their what do you call it? Single malt proprietary line. We might have to have that one on the show. We've been doing a lot of different. Well, we haven't recently, unfortunately. We need to get back to that. In fact, we need to finish up the Trader Joe line on the Worst Whiskey Watch, and we need to do some more proprietary grocery store stuff. Because the thing with that is, Some grocery stores produce, like for their independent line or Total Wine, whatever, big box, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, some of them actually produce decent shit. I mean, you have to slog through a bunch of bullshit to find it, but some of them do produce some decent shit. Isla Storm was actually a go-to of mine for a long time when I first started drinking, and that's a Trader Joe's exclusive. So Ten, yeah, he's saying that the Isla single malt is beautiful. It's hard to fuck up an Isla single malt. You know what I mean? It's you really have to try to fuck up an Isla single malt. Like, you got to put more effort into fucking it up than you would just if you just put it in the fucking bottle as is. I seriously believe that. Because even a young one, if you buy a young Isla, you can sell it to Pete heads. That's why Wee Beastie is gonna fucking sell like gangbusters. Also, because I'm a stupid Pete head, I am definitely gonna buy a bunch of Wee Beastie. So yeah, I hope everyone's excited for Wee Beastie. I get 5 cents every time I say the words Wee Beastie. This is okay. It's not great. It's very okay. I don't think I'm going to bother saving it, but also, if Mark Goings On is in the chat, I just fucked up another Kilhoman for you. An exclusive one, too. Yeah. So, yeah, Pete likes young whiskey. Absolutely. I am of the opinion there are 2 categories that I wish people would stop aging more than like 10 years. Rye, peated whiskey. Like, I know people are going to disagree with me about that because they love Lefroy, what is it, 21, 22. And it's good. Don't get me wrong, it's good. But give me Lefroy Cargis Triple Wood any day. I drink that over the 20 whatever any day of the week. Because the longer it's in the cask, the more you're losing the peat. Same with rye. The longer it's in the cask, the more you're losing that rye spice. For me, those are the things that make them interesting. I would rather have a massive peat bomb or a massive spicy rye than like a subtle nuanced rye or a subtle nuanced Isla. And I get that. I get it makes me a little bit of a Philistine, but like, that's my preference. So like, paying a lot of money for really old Isla, it's not necessarily what I want to do. Don Ryan's is saying Pete around 10 years, straight ex-bourbon cask is the bullseye for him. I agree. And that's actually Erica's opinion too. And that's the nice thing about a bourbon cask. One, I mean, a used bourbon cask, you just get that straight up peat, you know. First fill bourbon, I think people neglect the amount of influence that that vanilla lactone stuff that's still in the barrel has on the whiskey. I don't necessarily care for it when people call like first fill bourbon naked malt, because I think that's kind of disregarding the influence of that first fill cask. That said, I guess I kind of get it, but I think that's really where that's Erica's thing, the sweetened peat, comes from. The thing she loves to do is really that bourbon cask Lefroy, bourbon cask Kilhoman is really, that's the shit she loves, because you get just a little bit of that bourbony flavor and a lot of that peat. So, yeah. Okay, we are at 1 hour and 16. I'm going to finish up in just a second. Oh, hey, Patty's back. Hey, Patty. I'm okay. I'm drinking a couple of abominations because people told me to. It's not bad. I can still taste the Jim Beam vanilla. I've had to drink this shit like 4 times in the last week to make videos, you guys. Do you realize what you're doing to me? You're killing me. It's okay though. I'm willing to die for the channel. Not in a literal sense, just in my taste buds. Yeah, right? Well, the one thing I will say for the Laphroaig is you get more of the medicinal salty notes, which may have evened out this sweetness more. The Makir Bay is not as salty. It's more smoky. It's not as salty. Or medicinal band-aidy, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Also, okay, I know I keep saying I'm going to end the stream, but apparently I'm not. So let's keep talking. I was reading something some people were talking about on Twitter the other day, talking about how like somebody, I don't remember who, but there's someone doing one of these Scotch whiskey courses that says there is no salty note in Scotch. That's what their official guidebook says. There's no salty note in Scotch because salt comes from the sodium chloride, right? The sodium chloride is salt, and true salt taste only comes from sodium chloride, right? So, and there's no sodium chloride actually present in your whiskey, which, okay, all right, fine, that's cool. But the problem, and then they go on to say, there are no salty notes in whiskey. There are other notes that remind people of saltiness, you know, sea foam or fucking kelp, you know, seaweed, whatever. There are elements or medicinalness, whatever thing reminds you of salt in particular. They said that is in fact, those compounds are what gives Scotch its salty flavor, but it's not really salt, you see. It's a different compound, so it can't really be salt. Which, one, I don't know if that's true chemically. I'm not a chemist. Yeah, and oh, and so yeah, Sir Cannon says Campbelltown Scotch. That's a great example. Campbelltown distillers swear that there is no salt in their distillate, or no salty taste in their distillate when they put it in the cask. It's only through the aging by the sea that gives it its salty taste. Now, even, okay, let's grant them the fact that there may not actually be any salt molecules in their whiskey, right? Let's grant them that. Even still, it's kind of missing the forest for the trees if you're saying this tastes like something salty, but it's not really salt. Does it matter? I mean, if my brain says it's salty, it really doesn't matter whether or not it's actually salty or not. If it reminds me of salt, it tastes like salt. Same as if I say, fucking Kilhoman tastes like goddamn strawberries to me, right? It's a subjective thing. Like, you can't come in and say, well, there's no esters in the whiskey, so there's no way you're tasting strawberries. No, if I fucking taste strawberries, I taste strawberries. I don't know where it's coming from, but that's my subjective take. Yeah, producers themselves use the term brine. And I guess that's like, it gets to the point where you're having a semantic argument. Does brine taste like salt? Yeah. But it's not actually the sodium chloride molecule, so it doesn't taste like. Does it really matter? It fucking tastes like salt. I think there is a point where at which you start to delve. Like, I love the minutia of whiskey, I do, and I appreciate the people who understand it at a compound and molecular level. That's awesome. But at some point, do you start to miss the point? I feel like that's a weird way to phrase it, but like at some point, aren't you missing just the enjoyment of tasting the thing and seeing what it tastes like if you analyze it that deeply? or if you, I don't know. That's a very philosophical question about any topic. At what point in diving into the minutia do you start to lose the passion for simple enjoyment? I don't know. Sertan is saying, right, and all those whiskeys that people pick up leathery notes while drinking, I'm sure they didn't put leather inside the barrels. Right. It's kind of like saying the thing can't taste like the thing unless it actually has a thing in it. Those esters aren't real esters unless they come from fruit. But again, this is one school of thought pushed by one group of people doing whiskey classes online. Like, I don't even remember which organization it is. So, yeah. Sir Ken is saying, just don't age your whiskey next to dairy farms. You don't want your whiskey ending up tasting like shit. You haven't tried Floki. It's actually not bad. Floki is the Icelandic whiskey smoked with sheep shit. Yeah. It's actually not as bad as you would think. It reminds me of working on a dairy farm. I worked on a dairy farm as a kid, and it's not as shitty. Like, it's not as like manure as you think. There's a little manure. It's more barnyardy muddy. So, yeah. Downrange is saying Lambay Irish whiskey uses French oak cognac that's been exposed to sea air and maritime winds on Lambay Island. There's salt there. I would see. It's hard for me to believe that if you expose whiskey, which is breathing, I mean, those casks are breathing. It's hard for me to believe that there is absolutely no salt in it, right? It's hard for me to imagine that is completely some other compound tricking our senses. Then again, I haven't done chemical analysis of whiskey, so who the fuck knows? Again, I guess at some level it comes down to what you taste. Do you taste salt? If you taste salt, then who gives a fuck where it's coming from? Right? If it tastes fucking salty, it tastes fucking salty. So I think that is the high-minded academic argument that maybe does not even bother us kind of whiskey nerds. That's a little even more Anunnaki than we usually think about stuff. Yeah. All right. It is now almost 9:30. I am going to go to bed because I am tired. Here's what we're going to do, though. We have a couple different blends. I might save this one too. We'll see. I've got some bottles. I got some sample bottles here. So this is our first blend. Which one was this? This was Connemara and Buffalo Trace. So we're going to put that in a sample bottle. We are going to put the Madeira finished Kilchoman and the 1792. That's going in a sample bottle as well. I guess I'll do this one too. This weird Jim Beam Vanilla Kilchoman Colson Prestige mix. We can do that. And then our Ardbeg Kelpie Supernova Basil Hayden's thing, and our, what was our last one? Oh, was this the Old Potrero West Cork? You know what, guys? I've already forgotten. I think that was. So we're gonna throw that in one as well. So I'm gonna, after the stream ends, I'll go ahead and start filling these up, and we will see what happens to them in a month's time. So we'll give them time to marry. We'll give them time to mix up nicely, and we'll come back to them. Maybe I'll give it 2 weeks, come back to them, see what's happened, see how they are. Then in another 2 weeks after that, I'll come back and check them out again. So maybe 2 weeks from now on the next stream. So mid-April. Yeah. Oh, Connemara and Willett. That was what it was. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So yeah. So we'll look forward to that. Also, we have another set of videos coming out. We're going to do another blend on Wednesday. I have no idea what we're doing Tuesday, Thursday. We'll figure that out when we come to it. But we're going to do another Rotgut blend on Wednesday. I think people wanted to see the prestige improved. So I guess that's what we're doing for next week. If you feel differently, go comment on that video. Tell me if you wanted me to do the Coulsons instead. I think the prestige probably will be the more interesting one, though. This one's kind of shit. So, and so stay tuned. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. Thank you all so much for tuning in. All of you, make sure you stay safe out there, because I would hate for anything bad to happen. I love all of you. You're all beautiful people. And until next time, well, which one am I finishing with? I'm going to finish with the Connemara Willett, because that one was really good. Until next time, you guys stay rotten.